Welcome to another edition of Patriot Talk right here with my man Jesse Sanchez, coaches soccer over at Lubbock Cooper Liberty High School, Chris Level, as always, and then Colton Coons behind the camera taking care of us. It's cold, it's rainy, it's soccer season. That's what it
Yes.
means, right? And so, and again, I know this, just pretend like this is a soccer ball, but it is the stars and the stripes and the navy blue of Lubbock Cooper Liberty. So. This has been a fun opportunity for you, kind of starting a brand new program and
Yes.
coaching, being the head coach for the first time. Kind of take me through your journey to this
So
point.
the fun part's been that I've been able to kind of, like you said, it's a first year program. So being able to buy my own uniforms, get to pick the colors, get to pick the kind of designs. I love that kind of stuff. I get to order the sweats, the jerseys, like we said, start from scratch. And so it's my kind of like my baby. And so I get to do it all myself. It's neat, but it also has its obstacles. You know what I mean? Just like anything else. But we're going to embrace it all and just enjoy it, take it day at a time, and just try to have fun.
You are a West Texas guy. You're originally from Hereford.
Yes, sir. All my family and my father-in-law's still there. My parents have actually a Mexican restaurant there that's been there for about 30 years. A lot of people know about it. And then my father-in-law's the dentist in town. So we get free dentistry and free food still to this day. So
I love. Yeah, what more could you want, man, than free dentistry and free food? I mean, right? That's right. Okay, take me through your journey as like a coach. Did you always want to do this growing up? Did you always see yourself around athletics and kind of just get to this point from where you came from?
So just my journey. I'm Mexican American. My parents are from Mexico, so I'm first generation. You know, so my whole goal was just kind of giving back to people that are like myself that need somebody to speak for them. And so athletics, I always enjoyed it. I was never really good at it, to be honest with you, but I'm good with kids, talking to them, building relationships, and so. I thought athletics was a good avenue to relate to kids and be a good role model for them, especially the Hispanic, the Mexican Americans. And so I got my first opportunity at Coronado with Coach Randy Dean and Butch.
Okay.
Two the best that I've ever worked for.
Okay.
And I was blessed to be there for 4 years. Then I got my first stint here at Cooper for a year. It was a good time, but then I had another opportunity, and so I left. So I've been around a couple places, but everywhere I left, I've always left on a good note, done a good job. I feel like all the principals would hire me back in a heartbeat.
Okay.
And it's funny because, soccer, I've always enjoyed it, but at one point I thought I was going to be a head football coach. Another point I thought I was going to be a head basketball coach because I love basketball.
Okay.
And then finally, 15 years later, I'm a head soccer coach. So it just, I believe things happen for a reason. And so God has put me in this situation for the kids, and I'm excited.
And soccer is one of these things too, where you get dropped in the middle of the calendar, in the middle of the winter is when it starts, right? And when you're starting a new school, because that's the other fun thing about you. You mentioned, we got to order brand new uniforms, and there's no predetermined, well, we'll just play the opposite of last year's schedule. No, you're building everything from scratch, Don't have a stadium yet. All the things. So let's talk about your roster first and like trying to put that together. Did you have to talk a bunch of kids into it? Did you already have a bunch of soccer players ready to go on campus? Because it's a smaller school in year one.
Absolutely. So the good thing is, most of the kids with us only having, 300-ish kids.
Yes.
So I'm able to build a relationship with the kids during football season.
Okay.
I'm trying to recruit. A lot of kids, are basketball or baseball kids. So some of the players that I got this year didn't really have a second or third sport.
Okay.
And so, but the good thing is they had a good attitude, and they're like, I'll try this out. And I built a good relationship with the kids, and so they wanted to come out and give it a shot. And I probably have maybe 4 kids that played soccer.
Okay.
If I'm honest with you, but maybe 4,
Okay.
maybe 5. And to what degree they have played soccer, I don't know. I still tell the kids all the time, I said, y'all raise y'all's hands when I ask who had experience, but some of you guys, I don't know still, And so it's been an interesting journey so far, but we're excited to get it started tomorrow, just so the kids, I think the attitude is great, the work ethic's great, and so I think with just over time, the touches come really quick, and the kids will get better quickly, and they're having fun. And I think it's going to be a good way to build the program and get more kids interested in soccer that might think, oh, that's a dumb sport, or that's not very fun. And so I'm glad these kids gave it a shot, and I'm really enjoying it right now.
It's a hard.
It's
sport.
tough.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, you better be in shape, and it's great for footwork. It's great for other sports.
Absolutely.
Like your footwork in soccer and all that applies to if you're a basketball player or a football player or whatever. But footwork is so paramount, and that's what soccer is. Unless you're a keeper,
you can sit back. I got a couple linemen on the team, and it's going to be good for them as far as with the offensive line transition with pulling and moving, and it's good for these kids.
And you are okay. So I think it's just like the girls' side of it, in that it's 4A and up. That there is no that's what Liberty is a 3A school, but in a lot of these sports, it's if you're a 6-man, if you're a 1A football, whatever, you are playing 4A soccer. If you're playing
absolutely, so we have double disadvantage as far as we're 3A, so there's no such thing as 3A soccer. So you're having to play 4A. On top of that, you only have freshmen, and I have 3 sophomores on the team. Okay. The rest are freshmen. So when you talk about that, that's already a lot of things to overcome. A lot of things working against you on top of kids never playing the game. The season, like you said, is really cold. So to get these kids to come out there and play, so I'm blessed to have 17 kids right now they're loving it.
And you just have the one team,
one varsity team, yes,
one varsity team, and that's what you operate. And I know one of those freshmen, and he's one that has played soccer. Asen Huffman is
absolutely
going to be one of your better players, and he's not worried about any obstacles.
No, I'm excited for him. He was voted our captain, of course, and he deserves it. He's really good with the ball on his feet, and he has obviously the genetics from his father and whatnot.
And mom.
And mom.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we see you. Yeah.
Okay, but he has a great attitude. He's a good leader, and I'm really excited for him to just get better, get a little bit, grow and stronger, hit the weight room, and I think he has a lot of potential. I told him this to play at the next level if he really committed to it the next 4 years.
Yeah, and he's fast, and he's pretty good at football and pretty good at basketball.
Yeah, he's good at all the sports. Absolutely,
that's right. How did you? Because one thing everybody talks about you, like you've got this side hobby. You're like a lot of. Adult males, or even a lot of the kids that you're probably coaching, you're into shoes.
100%.
You're a sneakerhead, right?
I feel like everybody is now. But I call myself an OG.
Yeah, you're also the next level though, sneaker guy though, probably a little bit. But yeah, how did you? Where did that? Because I'm a big shoe guy too. But I mean,
my parents have that Mexican restaurant there in Hereford.
Okay.
And I worked it, and my parents thought, my siblings kind of took over that, and I was like, that's not my calling. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wanted to be make an impact on kids, and so sports, teaching Spanish was an easy way to get my foot in the door. Okay. It's hard to find Spanish teachers, let's be honest. Okay. And so that's how I got my foot in the door. So I came to Texas Tech. A bunch of my buddies were coming here, and I was like, yeah, I didn't know much about it. And I was like, whatever, let's go. It's an hour and a half from Hereford. Okay. I was like, let me try this out. And so I came, and so my parents were like, well, you need to get a job. So it just happened that I got a job at Foot Locker. Foot Action, they're all owned by the same. It's all Foot Locker. Yeah. And so that's where my passion took off. So I tell people I've been into shoes since 2003. Okay. Was my first job. Okay. I did that through the 4 years of tech, and then it just kind of kept going. You know what I mean? And then I realized you can make a little bit of money on the side too, to pay for my addiction to shoes. So I started reselling shoes, just to pay for my shoes in a way. Okay. Because I was at that time my first year coaching at Coronado. I was single, not married yet or anything like that, and so I was able to buy a lot of shoes for myself.
Does your wife get irritated with your shoe thing? And
so she just now recently, just like everybody else, is getting into the Dunks. The Dunks are really popular right now. Oh, yeah. And so Nike Dunks, all the women love it, and it's a good looking shoe. Yeah. But at one point, she was very frustrated. It was too many shoes. Like, got to stop it. Now my addiction is kind of passed down to my kids. Okay. You know what I mean? And I get the kids the cool shoes, and funny enough, my kids' teachers always like, they always notice their shoes, and they're like, another pair of shoes, and those are so cool. So now they started buying shoes themselves for me too, because they're like, who's your dad? And I was like, well, I can resell, and you can buy some shoes for me. And so now my own elementary teachers are buying shoes for my kids.
Do you have a store?
I don't. It's just an Instagram that I created. So funny enough, with me being coach, I just called it Got 'em Coach. Because I don't know. I mean, I'm older, but we just say got 'em. Got 'em. And so that's kind of what Nike says too. So it's called Got 'em Coach on Instagram, and I just kind of post it on there. And word of mouth. Funny enough, a former coworker of mine, they used to be here when I was my first stint Kimberly Bush.
Okay.
She's married.
Okay.
She was like, hey, do you have some Jordans that came out this Saturday on the way here? And she used to work at Bush with me like 10 years ago.
Okay.
And it's so random that she just
Yeah,
texts me.
I know Coach Gerber and Coach Hicks are wearing some fancy shoes that
yes.
you kind of help facilitate and all that stuff when they're coaching games and all that stuff. So it's kind of fascinating because you're in tune with all the kids over at the school because of the shoe.
That's
shoe
my
family.
connection. A lot of the former students of mine become managers at the mall. And so they'll give me the phone call, give me the text, hey, we just got these. You want some? I said, I'll be there in a little bit. So that's kind of the secret there.
I love it.
A
Okay.
lot of
Well,
connections.
don't give away all
I go
of
too
your
much.
secrets.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you what stores,
you
but
gotta
most of them.
limit that.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you have a new soccer team, scheme-wise, what are we coaching? What are we teaching? What's if I walk out there and I don't have a lot of experience, what's the first thing we're really trying to impress upon these young people?
So the first thing we work every single day during the period, we go out there and I say, you got to get 100 touches. It'd be like in basketball, dribbling the ball.
Okay.
Just the fundamentals you got to teach these kids. Kind of crawl before you walk.
Oh, yeah.
So every day during the period, I'm always like 100 touches. Even after school, 100 touches. It could be 1 touch, 2 touch. And then we back it up, maybe low driven balls. Just doing that every single day to get their touches up.
Okay.
And as far as what we're trying to instill this year, it's more of a defensive formation.
Okay.
Play defensively, learn how to play that, and then take our chances when we can to push forward. But, we're, like we said, a lot of freshmen on the team. Most of them haven't played. I tell our parents our goal this year, so we have a team goal to make the playoffs as a top 4 team, which in our district we could possibly. But our big goal, I told the parents, is that we're just going to get better. Our winning is going to look different. It's not going to be the scoreboard possibly. This first year.
Okay.
Winning is having a good attitude, good body language. You know what I mean? Getting better, not so much what the scoreboard says.
Okay.
Because that's just not fair for these kids right now.
Yeah. Well, and who is in your district right now? Because, I was used to,
so there's no such thing as 3A, so we're playing 4A, right? And so you think about all the 4A schools around here that have soccer, so it gets a little bit weird. But the most random one is kind of Pecos.
Yeah, because I think your district is different than Keelan's, isn't it?
No, it's the same.
It's the same one? Okay.
So you go to Pecos, you go to Midland, Greenwood, San Angelo, Lakeview is probably one of the better ones. Just hitting it all. And then closer in would be Snyder, Sweetwater.
Close.
Andrews. So I got to go see Coach Keller's old home.
Okay.
Hometown.
Yeah.
So it's just these small towns. And then selfishly enough, I put Hereford on the schedule. But they're not UIL yet. But they're going to get going.
Like club sport.
Right, they're clubs. So we're going down there and get to eat at my parents' restaurant, too.
Oh, very nice.
You know what I mean? It's a win-win situation.
Absolutely.
And we scrimmage we scrimmage at LCMS, but we scrimmage Plainview.
Okay.
And Plainview just started their program, I think, 2 years ago.
Okay.
So all these little small towns are just starting as well. They just have a couple years advantage on us.
Okay.
So I think we can kind of cut down on that a little bit quickly, hopefully.
Yeah, it's been fascinating
because
soccer and wrestling around here are just kind of new, but they're growing in popularity for sure. Obviously there's the semi-pro soccer team in town,
that's true.
The Matadors and all that stuff. So it's certainly picked up some popularity. Do you have what's your favorite pregame routine? Are you there yet? Will you know?
So that's funny. So today we're going to do an actual walkthrough. Okay. And it's funny because I walked in on Coach Hicks and he had to kind of do the same thing. How do we check in? It's varsity. These kids, it's just different. Most of these kids were in junior high last year. Mm-hmm. Now we're playing varsity. So we're actually going to go through our routine today.
Skipping a bunch of steps.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to go through our routine of how a pregame looks before a game today, since we scrimmage tomorrow.
Okay.
How to walk them through it. How do our stretches look, our dynamic stretches, our touches, maybe a little side games, a little rondo, and then some shots on goal. But you got to teach them the actual routine, the pregame. You know what I mean? But as far as exactly what that looks like, it might change. We'll see. Yeah.
What are you most looking forward to? Just from when you skip to the end, what is something that man, I can't wait for this. Maybe it's the trip to Hereford. I don't know, but and maybe it's the first game, maybe it's the first win. You take me through what's your kind of, as you look off in the distance, man, I'm really looking forward to this with this group of kids.
So the first thing is tomorrow, right? First scrimmage, my first time as a head coach, getting that out, get that done with, and then it'll be that first game.
Okay.
But like you said,
a lot of milestones.
Yeah, just a lot of milestones. The first scrimmage, first game,
yeah.
And then the first win is going to be amazing.
Okay.
And then what do you call it? Just the experience with these kids. Like I told you yesterday, we're out there at practice. It's raining, it's cold, and the kids are loving it, laughing. And then you sit back and you just kind of, you just kind of smile because their attitude's so great. And it's like at the end of the day, winning and losing, soccer's not going to last forever, right? Just like all sports. At the end of the day, we're going to have these memories that we made. And that yesterday just kind of really struck with me at practice, watching those kids just laughing, smiling, and just it wasn't even about, it was just kids being kids out there at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It was a cool experience.
Yeah, they get to play outside.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, today we're about to do it again here in a minute.
Yeah,
so
right.
it's tough.
Like you're a big Nike guy.
Yes.
And soccer is a big Adidas.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and all that
Coach
stuff.
Coach Burkett over there at Old, he makes sure he tells me that he's an Adidas guy because soccer is Adidas.
That's
what he says.
That's over in Germany and all those things.
That's right.
It's funny, but you had a good time with all the gear and cold weather.
Cold
stuff.
weather, yeah. So I told my parents, and I think they finally clicked because I told them this 3 weeks ago when we started invest in some cold gear. And then that storm hit, and they're like, "Oh wait!" And then, so everybody's running to get that cold gear. I'm like, "You gotta have it. I mean, it's good for most sports, right? You know what I mean? Especially with baseball. Some of these kids maybe
like
playing baseball.
The long underwear
Yep.
underneath tights.
The ties. And I said I went and bought some a couple weeks at Dick's Sporting Goods myself. So I was like, you got to invest in that stuff because you need it. But just being a Nike guy, I'm a Nike shoe guy. I wear Adidas shoes too. People think I don't, but I do. But it's like just having the cool Nike tops. I want my kids. I told them, I said, I'm gonna take care of y'all. I just want you to go out there, work hard. I said, but I'm gonna get you nice stuff. We're gonna look good. I said, y'all know if there's anybody in the staff that has good fashion or drip, they call it drip, right? It's me. And the kids saw these tops, and they're like, oh, those are sweet. That might be the best ones in the entire school. I said, well, I don't know. It's debatable, but I said, I'll promise you that's going to be one of the better ones.
Isn't the new word Riz? Too?
A lot of Riz.
Yeah, a lot of Riz.
Yeah,
which is short for charisma.
Yeah,
for us.
We learned all the terminology kids use.
Oh, yeah.
And then I made a mistake yesterday in Spanish class, and I think I said something, and they're like, the kids started laughing. It was like an old saying. I can't remember what it was, but it was something like, I don't know. What did we use back in the day? It was like dope or something. And they're like, you're such an idiot. Nobody uses that. Yeah, I don't know. Things like that. So.
Yeah. So your schedule, how did you put together like a non-district schedule with knowing that, you want to try to stay closer to home, which also you have to travel a lot for district. I mean, what did that look like?
So that was probably one of the tougher things I've done. I wanted to, so if we're honest, we're really more of a JV team starting this year. It'd be good to be a JV team, but we obviously don't have that luxury. We have to play varsity, right? But we're really a JV team. So I try to focus. You have 3 5A high schools here. So I was like, hey, let's get those guys on the schedule. Let's play their JV. Probably get more out of that than trying to play their varsities, right? Yeah. Then I looked at schools around us that are not in our district, which that's tough. Because
not that many.
Not that many left, right? And you have to go up north. Well, you go up north, soccer gets a lot better too, right? And eventually we're gonna be able to compete with those guys. But that was kind of a tough. It was tough going, but thankfully I was able to fill it. And I also, with 17 kids, not many subs. You don't want to kill them. So another one would be like the Lubbock tournament. I wanted to keep it in house. Maybe less games than trying to travel to Dallas this year with these kids. It just, you play so many games in a tournament, these kids would. They'd be hurting, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to think about them as well and how to, have a positive season and take positive steps. We don't want to go out there and, try to go to South Lake Carroll or somewhere crazy in Dallas because Dallas soccer is just on a different level.
Oh, yeah, Metroplex. Yeah, that's like the Texas soccer capital right there in Frisco. Okay, so if Coach Sanchez is filling out his Christmas list, Christmas is right around the corner. What shoes do you want that you just can't?
So it's funny. I'm gonna try for them, and my birthday is on Christmas.
Oh,
so my legal
Christmas
baby,
my
legal name is actually Jesus. So it's like kind of a Mexican culture thing. I was born on Christmas. My mom's gonna name me Ruben after my dad. I told her thank God I was born on Christmas because I was like, Ruben just doesn't sit well. But she named me Jesus, and I don't know. When you're young, life is tough sometimes, kids, and call you Jesus and things like that. So I started going by Jesse early on, like late, maybe 4th, 5th grade year. Okay. And just kind of, my parents call me Jesse now. Okay. But I was born on Christmas. But for Christmas, and you're gonna love this one, ready? The reverse Grinches. Oh, okay. I have the regular Grinches, okay, but the reverse Grinches come out in a couple of days. I think on the 15th. Okay. And those are on top of the list for sure. I made sure my wife knows that too. So if I can't get them myself, sometimes I can't, and I got to pay resale. So people don't realize I can't get every shoe, and so I got to pay resale sometimes too. But I'm waiting for the market to kind of dip. They're about 400
you're
right
a big,
now.
like, are you a big StockX guy?
So
Like,
we use StockX to kind of gauge the market,
okay.
just like anything else. So we go
It's like these
StockX
are like commodities, man. Yeah.
So StockX has them at 400. If I get a pair, I'll sell them for 400. The problem is you don't have to pay the shipping, all these little extra fees that StockX would charge you if I have them.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So when I'm paying for a shoe on the resale market, I go off of that. I said, hey, they're 400. I'll give you 400. They're, well, okay, add shipping. No, you cover shipping. And then you get into that battle negotiation, you know. But I'm waiting for that market to go down because I think when they actually release more pairs, like the official release for the reverse crunches Kobe's, will be and like I said, on the 15th, the market will keep dipping. And you got to find that right time to buy. Just like anything else, right? The market, when to buy, when to sell. But I'm telling you, you would love those. The Kobe reverse crunches. A lot of our kids will want those on the basketball team.
Okay.
They're all red and the laces are green.
Okay.
So that's why they're called reverse.
I see. Okay. Okay. Favorite. What's your favorite with the holidays being around the corner? Do you have a favorite Christmas tradition that you grew up with, or that you have now?
So like I told you, once again, it's that whole Mexican culture in me, right?
Okay.
So we always celebrated. I'm 38. I'm about to be 39, which is scary, right? But
We're not older, just wiser.
okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So we
Or
always
smarter in the shoe market.
So I'm Catholic. We would always go to church on Christmas Eve. But
Okay.
as a Mexican American, we always celebrate on Christmas Eve, kind of like that. Wait till midnight, and then we start opening gifts.
Okay.
So Christmas Day is just more recovery, kind of hang out. You know what I mean? But the Christmas Eve is when we go to church, have dinner, and then it takes forever. My mom is old school, but she'll say, "All right, Chris, here you go. You open one," and we all wait.
Oh,
you
yeah.
open it, and you just go around. And when the kids have a million gifts, you're like, good.
Yeah, we're gonna be
grief.
here for forever.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we kind of started going like, all right, you get all your gifts, and she gets all her gifts, whoever, and then we kind of open them quicker.
Yeah.
But that's always been something I remember, and I'm gonna keep enjoying that because
Hey, that's
we're
what
getting
it's all
older. My
about,
parents are
man.
getting older. You got to enjoy it. So, but
Yeah.
this year we're actually gonna go to Ruidoso and do it in Ruidoso.
Okay.
My parents have a place. My father-in-law has a place. So we'll do the same thing. Celebrate Christmas Eve, open all the gifts. Christmas Day, kind of just hang out. You know.
Good.
My mom will make some famous Mexican dish like pozole or something,
Okay.
some kind of caldo or tamales, and
Okay.
we just eat, and it's good time.
Good. That's awesome. Favorite Christmas movie?
I don't know. That one's tough.
You
Maybe
mentioned The Grinch earlier. But
the
that-
Grinch
that's
earlier.
a-
My kids enjoy it, but
Yeah.
something like Elf or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's
it's a classic.
that's-
Yeah.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Yes.
Yeah, I mentioned that in a recent podcast here too. You smell like beef and cheese. All those things. The world's best cup of coffee. You really did it. Congratulations. Yes.
It's like
yes.
Santa.
Yeah, that's
Santa.
right.
Santa.
Okay, so how do we follow Liberty Soccer on the social media stuff? Tell me,
Okay.
tell the viewers here the social media account and Twitter account, all that stuff.
Okay, so you put me on the spot, but we have a Twitter handle. It's a little complicated. I can't think about it right now, but I'm sure you can just type in Liberty Boys Soccer.
Is it
It's
at Liberty?
It's like LBBB Boys or something. It's
Yeah.
it's a little different,
There's
but
an underscore in there.
yeah. And I posted a couple times on there, and we'll keep posting on that Twitter. That's all we have right now.
Okay.
Kids were asking me about creating an Instagram. I
Okay.
think Instagram is still cool with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
But you never know with these. It changes, right? It could be Snap, then
A lot of
Instagram,
different
then
platforms,
now
yes.
it's what TikTok, which I don't even have an account. I'm like
Yeah,
now touching that.
Yeah.
Like so, it's like how to keep it stay relevant.
Yeah.
I don't know. So we might do an Instagram, and I've seen a lot of people do Facebook right now. So we'll probably create a Facebook one as well.
Yeah, it's all about.
But right
yeah.
now on Twitter, definitely go follow us on the Liberty Boys Soccer.
Okay, very good, man. Enjoyed it. Get some chicken broth for that sideline, man. If you need to stay warm,
We need some heaters. We need some coverage. Something.
That's right. Some hot chocolate to go cups and all
Yeah.
that for these kids. But anyway, enjoyed it. We will do this again. Good luck
Okay.
with the season.
Appreciate you.
I know this is a fun opportunity for everybody over there is getting to start these new programs, and when they finally get to start and you see all the work that you put in come to fruition, that's what's very rewarding for you guys. I know.
100%. I think just getting going. It's like that. I'm anxious. Our first scrimmage is for tomorrow. It's like let's get going. And just kind of excited.
Have you asked any of your other because I asked in a recent podcast, I asked Keelan this same question, and I think she leaned on more. She leaned on Morgan a little bit. She leaned on Caitlin a little bit. She asked Joe some questions. Have you kind of gone to some other head coaches and said, hey, how do we?
100%. I need to give credit. I was actually just texting before I walked in with, I don't even remember a guy named Alan Riches.
Okay.
He was the head coach at Coronado and then McMurray.
Okay.
He's kind of get out of the coaching field. He says he misses it, but he's in Ruidosa. Actually, had a bunch of cabs I think he just sold. So I text him. I talk to Burkhead all the time. Burkhead's been amazing, just helping out. And then my buddy Simon at Monterey.
Okay.
That he's a good friend of mine. My son and his son play in the same team.
Okay.
And Simon took his team to the regional tournament, which is pretty hard, pretty rare. I think it might have been the first time around here.
That's the best thing a coach can do is ask for help.
Yeah, I got so many connections. I'm 15 years coaching. I made good connections, and I'm not too shy or too embarrassed or too, my ego's not that big to not ask other people for help.
Yeah.
Especially people that have been doing it for a while and that are winning. Know what they're doing.
Okay. Man, enjoy it. And I know this is, like I said, a lot of fun, man. But hopefully, you just keep progressing, and it's all about small victories, man.
100%.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. Is there anybody else other than Asen that you wanted to make sure we mention?
Well, my 3 sophomores, I'm excited for. They're still a little bit raw, but they're very athletic. Big kids. Okay. So Cesar Santillano, Josiah Rosales, his father's one of our officers at our school. Okay. And then Jake Sweeney, real quiet, humble, but that kid, he looks like he belongs in bodylifting. I'm telling you, he's a big boy, and he's such a good kid, and he works hard. Those 3 sophomores are going to, go as far as they take us. Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, man, good luck, man.
Thank you, guys.
Jesse Sanchez, Chris Lovell, Colton Coons. This has been another edition of Patriot Talk. We'll talk to you next time.